Now at 5, a police chase of a stolen car moves from Kansas to Missouri. Now a suspect faces charges for other crimes. Plus, a man gets a life-saving kidney donation thanks to a local church. And
President Trump readies an immigration crackdown in Chicago. I'm Jordan Small at the White House with the latest as the Supreme Court allows his LA ICE operations to proceed.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A police chase of a stolen car begins in Kansas and ends with an arrest in Missouri. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. It all began as police chased a stolen car in Pittsburgh. Sheriff's deputies from Crawford County took over as the chase moved out of the city and eventually east into Missouri. Officers from Crawford and Jasper counties managed to use tire deflation devices on the vehicle, but the driver continued to flee. Authorities said the driver intentionally hit deputy vehicles from both counties before officers managed to use a tactical maneuver to stop the car near Sumac and 210th in Jasper County. The Barton County Sheriff's Office and Missouri State Highway Patrol also participated. And now they have this man in jail in Missouri. He's 31-year-old Tyler Allen Cole Ritz. In addition to the stolen vehicle, law enforcement say they also found several items of suspected stolen property from burglaries that took place over the weekend in Crawford County. Crash involving a motorcycle and car claimed the life of a young man in Joplin today. That crash happened at about 8 this morning on 20th and Schifferdecker Avenue. Authorities say the northbound motorcycle struck a southbound car. The driver of the car was not injured. A crew rushed the motorcycle rider to the hospital, but he died of his injuries. The Nevada, Missouri Fire Department today released details of this fire that swept through a 2-story home over the weekend. Investigators say an electrical issue sparked the blaze on South Ash Street. No one was home and no one was hurt. Smoke was visible for miles this morning when fire swept through a large barn garage type building on Fur Road in rural Carthage. It was engulfed when crews arrived, and there have been no reports of injuries to our knowledge. Firefighters from Carthage, Dunaweg, and Sarcoxie all responded. Some of us, at least, could get a bit of rain. Let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney.
We are watching a shower complex moving in, but you can see it's starting to die down as it creeps into our area, though a few areas are already seeing a few light showers. Chanute might be getting maybe 1/10 of an inch an hour, not a lot going on, and then we might have a drizzle. Buffalo all the way up to Iola. Now Fredonia is getting about 1/4 of an inch of rain per hour, so pretty light showers, but we are going to be expecting most of this to continue to try and make its way through the 4 states throughout tonight and into early Tuesday morning. So you can see through 5 a.m., even by 11 a.m., isolated shower chances that continue. Now again, a lot of us may not see much in the way of rain, but we could get a couple of these isolated chances where these showers are going to be a bit more moderate. And I'm going to have all those details coming up.
Thanks, Lindsay. Catch you in a few. President Trump delivered remarks on religious freedom in public schools today. During the speech, he also spoke about crime in Chicago. Shortly after, the Department of Homeland Security announced a new operation in that city and Illinois targeting undocumented immigrants who have criminal histories. Tareen Small is at the White House with more on those stories, plus some wins today for the administration at the Supreme Court.
We have to bring back religion in America.
Appearing at the Museum of the Bible Monday, President Trump announced the Department of Education will soon issue new guidance protecting the right to prayer in public schools.
As president, I will always defend our nation's glorious heritage, and we will protect the Judeo-Christian principles of our founding, and we will protect them with vigor.
During the speech, the president also addressed wanting to send National Guard troops to Chicago. After posting on social media this weekend, the city is about to find out why it's called the Department of War.
We'd love to go into Chicago and straighten it out.
Shortly after his remarks, the Department of Homeland Security announced federal immigration agents are launching an operation in Chicago and Illinois targeting immigrants living in the U.S. illegally who also have criminal records.
Dubbed Operation Midway Blitz, it comes the same day the administration's deportation efforts in the Los Angeles area received a boost from the Supreme Court.
The High Court temporarily lifted restrictions on immigration-related stops in Southern California, allowing agents to stop people without reasonable suspicion that they are in the U.S. illegally, and instead rely on factors like race and if they're speaking Spanish. California officials slammed the decision.
I think the rationale articulated by Justice Kavanaugh is dangerous and wrong.
The court's 3 liberal justices dissented. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
In another victory for the White House, Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts allowed President Trump to remove a member of the Federal Trade Commission while the court considers the case. Rebecca Kelly Slaughter is one of several appointees at independent agencies that the president has removed since he returned to the White House. Tensions remain high in the Middle East in the wake of an attack in Jerusalem this morning. It's the deadliest in that Israeli city since 2023. At least 6 people were killed and a dozen injured when Palestinian attackers opened fire at a bus stop in Jerusalem. Israeli police said 2 gunmen launched that attack during morning rush hour. A security officer and an armed civilian returned fire, killing the attackers.
2 Palestinian terrorists murdered Jews on buses at the Ramot Junction in the entrance to Jerusalem. So far, 6 Israelis have been killed. There are many injured, including pregnant women. We pray for them. We are in a war with radical Islamist terrorism.
The attack comes a day after President Trump gave what he called a last warning to Hamas to agree to his terms for ending the war in the region, adding that Israel had accepted his proposed ceasefire and hostage release agreement. Just ahead, collecting a little cash on the side.
For some, side hustles are turning play into profits. I'm Bradley Blackburn with new numbers on how Americans are creating their own opportunities.
But first, a prayer at a Southeast Kansas church leads to a potentially life-saving transplant for a 4-stater. That's just ahead in Health Watch.
How was your family reunion?
Topping today's Health Watch.
It's a miracle. I mean, it really is.
Living with kidney failure often means hours on dialysis just to stay alive. After being told it could take up to 4 years to find a donor, Chris Van Nuys of Neodesha, Kansas, turned to his church, Christ Church of Neodesha, for prayer. That's where fellow member Matt Arnold realized he might be the perfect match. Well, now both families are preparing to head to KU Med in Kansas City, where the transplant will happen tomorrow.
So I got bummed. I mean, who wouldn't, you know? So we brought it to church and, you know, just asked church to pray for us, you know. Help me through dialysis because it's rough. And that's when I found out Matt wanted to step up and be a donor.
We're going to hear a lot more about Chris's journey tonight at 6. More than 100,000 people are waiting for an organ on the U.S. transplant list, most in need of a kidney. Well, now doctors at Massachusetts General Hospital are announcing more research milestones in animal-to-human transplants. As Jared Hill reports, a New Hampshire man is the latest patient to receive an experimental pig kidney.
Bill Stewart is doing well after receiving an experimental pig kidney transplant.
I just had an ultrasound. Dr. Riella said my kidney's doing absolutely wonderfully.
The 54-year-old Dover, New Hampshire man got his new organ in June.
Our third xeno recipient got transplanted in June, and he's now completing 3 months after the kidney transplant.
Dr. Leonardo Riella and his team at Massachusetts General Hospital also announced another pig kidney recipient set a record, 7 months so far with his organ. This as the FDA approved that the company that provides the genetically edited pig kidneys, eGenesis, can begin a significant study of kidney xenotransplants.
Right now we have a bottleneck. We know the best treatment for these patients, but we are stuck because of the organ shortage. So we provide them a suboptimal treatment with dialysis, which keep them alive, but it's associated with so many issues from the patient perspective, quality of life, as well as impact in their overall survival. So I think this is where xenotransplantation can really, change the game for patients waiting for a transplant.
Literally within a day or two, I was back up and walking just circles around the transplant unit.
Stewart says he's back at his desk at work and recently visited his old dialysis clinic.
I felt like it was an opportunity to kind of give other people potentially an opportunity to do the same thing that I just underwent and kind of advance the science along. I've always been a little bit of a science nerd.
He says he's grateful his journey may give other patients some hope. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Until now, the longest a gene-edited pig organ transplant has lasted was about 130 days. Children with high blood pressure, they could face a higher risk of deadly cardiovascular disease decades later. A Northwestern University study found that high blood pressure in kids as young as 7 could increase the risk of death by 40 to 50% by the time they reach their mid-50s. The findings underscore that regular blood pressure screening is critical even for children. A new study finds that teenagers are especially vulnerable to loneliness. Research from the University of Cambridge found that after only a few hours without any social interaction, teens start seeking rewards that provide social connection, sometimes in unhealthy ways, such as through alcohol or drugs. Researchers say teens should be encouraged to find positive outlets for social connection. September is Suicide Awareness Month, and a local group wants to help bring hope to people who are struggling. Today, family response advocates with the Pittsburgh Police Department created a sidewalk of hope in front of the department. You see it there. The project is to help grow community awareness, honor life, and show there are resources to help.
The goal is to remember who you are and that your life matters and that there is hope for you. There is help for you. And we are here to be able to do those things.
You should know the Suicide Prevention Hotline offers help at 988. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, making extra money with side hustles.
And we're tracking a possible few showers this evening. I'll have those details right after this.
KOAM News Now is looking for organizations.
It was a chilly day today, and we also had clouds rolling in earlier this afternoon. Now you can see, taking a look at our current conditions out on 7th and Range Line. Temperatures in the upper 70s, and we do have those overcast skies still remaining. Now a few showers are on their way into southeastern Kansas. Not a lot of widespread rain chances, and if you take a look out near Wichita, they're getting thunderstorms. We would just be seeing a few light showers, so let's zoom in and see what's going on. Now Chanute might be getting a little bit of a drizzle out there. Iola maybe about the same. The lighter green, maybe a drizzle if it's making it to the surface. Not going to see a lot of accumulation there. But Thayer, Neodesha, all the way north of Fredonia up to Buffalo, those are all getting moderate showers, light to moderate showers. So we are seeing some potential for accumulation, about 1/4 of an inch as these showers make their way through this evening. Now you can see, taking a look at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, we do have a bit of sunshine still left in the day before the clouds really take over tonight, and we get those isolated storms coming in later this evening and even into Tuesday morning. Now temperatures are getting back down into the upper 50s, so we're just warming up steadily, even our overnight lows. But like I said, we got these showers that we're going to be dealing with. So here we are, 8 p.m., a couple more pop-up little heavier showers near Sedan. That's near Caney, Coffeyville, north of Chanute, near Iola, heading into the Fort Scott area. Joplin might be getting some of these lighter showers there again by 8 p.m. Now, this all continues through the overnight hours, still seeing 11:30 to 12. Carthage, Joplin might be getting some moderate showers, Oswego as well, and then out near Chanute. Now again, we see this pretty consistently all night. Isolated showers starting to break apart by early morning, but we have another round of storms that develop in a line by 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Iola, Chanute, Independence down to Bartlesville. Now all of this slowly will push in to our central counties by mid-morning, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and then some heavier rain showers that stick around Fort Scott, Iola, Chanute, Nevada, all the way down to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh might be on the cusp there, getting just a few light showers, maybe some drizzle. This is about noon to 1 p.m. on Tuesday, so early afternoon. We see some of these showers try and pushing into our central counties. So by about 3:30, 4 p.m., Fort Scott, just north of Pittsburgh, going to see some showers making it in. These are moderate showers, and then they'll push out of the area by 7, 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Now, rain totals, again, throughout the next 24 hours. That area, Iola out to Fort Scott, they get a couple of these isolated showers packing, some moderate potential for accumulation. But then again, early Tuesday afternoon, we've got that heavier patch of showers and thunderstorms just in that area. So we're going to want to watch out for that. They could get up to an inch and a quarter. But the rest of us are sitting about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rain. Not a lot. And again, this only lasts through Tuesday afternoon. And then we have Wednesday through Monday where we're seeing mostly clear skies. We do get some cloudy days there, but temperatures are going to be in the low 90s. So this is our taste of summertime again before we start to see those temps dropping back down.
A little taste of summertime, but that's okay. It's gradually trending cooler and cooler.
It is, that it is.
You know, eventually we'll get to fall, I'm predicting.
Oh, I'm ready for it.
Coming up, see how one woman created her own pickleball side hustle.
At Aaron Saxon's.
Topping today's Consumer Watch, food insecurity in America is even higher now than during the COVID pandemic. Research published in JAMA found hunger declined between 2019 and 2021, but by 2023 had grown to even higher levels. Researchers note that food insecurity fell when the U.S. expanded government food assistance programs and rose when those programs were slashed. Food insecurity is linked to numerous health problems. Fewer Americans are making ends meet by taking on a side job in addition to their main occupation. A recent survey found while the overall numbers are down, more younger people are trying ways to have some financial freedom, turning their passion into profit. Bradley Blackburn introduces us to side hustlers.
Anna Worm is an administrative assistant by day and a dog walker whenever else she can.
I have about 5 dogs that I walk consistently each week, and then one-offs every once in a while.
Worm sets her own schedule through Rover and says pounding the pavement has been a financial boost.
Living in New York is really expensive, so I knew that if I was going to be here, I needed a second source of income to be able to live the life that I want to live.
A recent Bankrate survey found just over 1/4 of Americans have side hustles. That's actually the lowest percentage since 2017, and most are using that extra dough for discretionary spending.
What's going on here is that the job market's been solid and wage growth has outpaced inflation for the past 3 years. People are catching up.
With the average side hustler making $900 a month, it's enough to pay down some debt or sock away for a rainy day.
Good.
It's also a way to turn a hobby into gainful employment.
I wanted to incorporate an activity into making money.
29-year-old Brianna Meertens picked up pickleball when she was in between jobs. The tennis player figured she could teach pickleball lessons.
Like more to the side.
It went from a side hustle to a full-time gig as a club pro, but Meertens still books private lessons on the side with an app called Teach Me To.
I'm able to pocket some extra money after bills are paid.
She encourages anyone even considering a side hustle to take a swing at it.
Don't be hesitant. Try it. You can make $5 in a day and make $100 tomorrow.
And that passion could become permanent. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Analysts say we could see a resurgence in side hustles with employment trends weakening and price growth potentially ticking up due to tariffs. Among the most popular kinds of extra gigs, online sales, graphics design, crafts, and child and pet care. Final check with the forecast up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, retiring on a high note, why more seniors are lighting up. Then on KOAM News at 6, vehicle break-ins become a major problem in Baxter Springs. Plus, more on how one man's life is saved by a kidney donation that started at a local church. And Carl Junction football is 2-0 for the first time since 2016. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. We are going to get to fall eventually. That's a certainty.
Yes.
It's a little bit warmer in the days ahead, though.
Well, we knew this was going to come. We were going to get a little bit more summer before fall settled in. Now, we do have a couple of days with some isolated storm chances tonight and Tuesday. Wednesday, though, we start to warm back up to upper 80s and then eventually low 90s by the weekend.
Those lows, pretty low. Not bad overnights. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And, of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.